Sunlight streamed through the tall arched windows of the prestigious Sterling Academy, a school where money and lineage often mattered more than academic achievement. For Maya Johnson, one of the few black students there on a prestigious scholarship, Sterling was both an opportunity and a silent battlefield. She always kept her head down, focused on her books, trying to ignore the scrutinizing looks and the whispers that she didn't really belong here. Today, she just wanted to get to her AP calculus class on time. But Blake Carrington, tall, blonde, with the arrogance of someone who had never been denied anything, had other plans. He and his clique of wealthy white friends blocked Maya's path in the crowded hallway. "Well, look what we have here," Blake sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. "Little ghetto girl lost her way. This isn't the place for charity scholarship cases, you know." A few chuckles rose from his friends. Other students hurried past, eyes averted. The unwritten rule at Sterling was, when Blake Carrington targeted someone, you stayed out of it. Maya tightened her grip on her backpack strap, feeling the familiar heat rise in her chest. She was all too used to these words, the insinuations that her achievements weren't her own, that her presence tarnished the school's perceived purity. "Move, Blake," she said, her voice even but laced with tension. "I don't have time for your games." Games. Blake stepped closer, invading Maya's personal space. He towered over her. "Who do you think you're talking to, Johnson? You should be grateful to breathe the same air as me. This school is for people like me, not your kind." He suddenly shoved Maya hard on the shoulder. "Go back where you belong." Maya stumbled but caught her balance. The shove didn't hurt physically, but it was a public humiliation, an assertion of power based on skin color and status. Silence fell over the hallway. Phones were drawn out. This was no longer just bullying. It was a performance of racial dominance. "You really don't want to do this, Blake," Maya said, her voice ice cold, her usual composure gone, replaced by steely determination. "Oh, what are you gonna do?" Blake scoffed, blinded by his arrogance. "Run and tell a teacher? Call up your little posse?" He shoved her again, harder this time. "This isn't your playground." That was the last straw. The restraint Maya had cultivated for so long snapped. "All right," she whispered almost to herself. "You asked for it." She dropped her backpack. Before Blake could react, Maya moved. In one lightning-fast motion, she grabbed Blake's outstretched arm, twisted her body, used her hip as leverage, and flipped him hard over her shoulder. Blake Carrington, the self-proclaimed King of Sterling, hit the marble floor with a resounding thud. The air crackled. Blake lay there stunned, hurting, and most importantly, utterly humiliated in front of the entire school. The silence lasted only a second before it was broken by gasps, then stifled laughter, then applause, and outright cheers. Maya picked up her backpack, dusted off her shoulder, and stepped over Blake as if he were nothing but a minor obstacle. "Told you," she said loud enough for him to hear. The news spread like wildfire. The video, titled "Rich Kid Gets Destroyed by Black Girl at Elite School," went viral on campus and beyond. Maya was suddenly noticed. People who had never met her gaze now wanted to sit at her lunch table, asking where she learned to fight. But the attention came with a sense of unease. Blake wasn't just embarrassed. His pride and the privilege he took for granted were deeply wounded. Revenge was inevitable, and it would be colored by racial resentment. The next day, tension hung heavy over Sterling. Blake and his friends, Kyle, Josh, and Derek, were unnervingly quiet, their eyes following Maya with simmering hatred. At lunch, Maya received a text from an unknown number. Gym after school. No cameras. Let's settle this. She knew it was Blake. Although something felt wrong, pride wouldn't let her back down. She couldn't let him think he could intimidate her. The vast gymnasium was empty and silent when Maya walked in at 4:15 p.m. The heavy door slammed shut behind her, echoing ominously. "Big mistake coming here alone, Johnson," Blake's voice called out from the far end of the gym. He stepped out of the shadows and behind him stood Kyle, Josh, and Derek, all large and menacing. "4 against 1? Maya scoffed, trying to hide the flicker of anxiety. "Looks like you really are scared of me, Carrington." "Shut up," Blake's face flushed with anger. "This isn't about being scared. This is about teaching you your place. You think you can humiliate me like that in front of everyone and just walk away? Especially someone like you." The racism in his voice was now undisguised. "I don't have a place that you get to decide," Maya shot back, holding her ground. "And I won't let you or anyone else touch me." "We'll see about that," Blake snarled and lunged forward, throwing a clumsy but powerful punch. Maya easily dodged it. Then came Kyle. She evaded his charge and swept his legs out from under him. Josh tried to grab her from behind, but a precise elbow to the ribs sent him stumbling back in pain. Derek hesitated, and that was Maya's opening. A spinning kick connected squarely with his chest, sending him flying backward onto the floor. Only Blake remained. He rushed at her furiously, throwing wild, sloppy punches, all of which Maya expertly dodged or blocked. She moved fluidly, calmly, using his own momentum and lack of control against him. Finally, a lightning-fast kick to his gut sent Blake staggering. Maya stepped forward, grabbed his collar, and once again slammed him onto the hard gym floor. She leaned over him, her eyes resolute. "Don't ever touch me again." Her voice was low and full of authority. Blake lay there, gasping, defeated, humiliated for a second time, along with his useless cronies. From that day on, the power dynamic at Sterling Academy shifted. No one feared Blake Carrington anymore. Instead, a new, grudging respect mixed with wariness was directed towards Maya Johnson, the black girl who refused to accept the place others tried to impose on her and fought to protect her own dignity. Blake had learned a bitter lesson. Sometimes the ones deemed powerless hold strength you never expected.